Is Maine a tax deed state? In this video, we're going to talk about whether Maine is a tax deed state or a tax lien state and how it works. You're going to want to watch this video. There are a lot of changes that happen in Maine. And let me tell you something. I've been in this business 30 years, okay, doing tax liens and tax deeds all over the country and educating people on this. And there's only been twice that I've seen rule changes, and this is one of those, so pay attention. There's a lot of things that are going on there that has actually made it pretty cool. I kind of like where they're going with it, but I can also see potential problems for the state, not for you and I, but benefits for you and I. But we'll see how it works out. The rules are the rules. They've just changed them in the last 60 days, and I'm here to inform you those. Lots of ways to make money. Now, stick around to the very end, and I got a good bonus for you. So do that. If you like this, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs up. If you love it, thumbs up. If you hate it, thumbs up. In other words, thumbs up. Also, write any comments and questions that you have on that. We can create a dialogue going on there, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So let's talk about, Maine. Is it a tax deed state? The answer is yes. Now, Maine evidently really overreacted to a ruling in Hennepin County in Minnesota. There was a Tyler versus Hennepin County, and it was about overage, and I really don't want to get into that. But in April of this year, the governor of Maine signed an act to amend the process of tax foreclosed properties due to non-payment of taxes. And so what they basically did is they said, if a property has failed to pay their property taxes over a 4 or 5 year period of time, yes, the county can foreclose on that property. And they can do all that, but it's not going to go to an auction anymore. What they're going to do is they're going to hire a local real estate agent to sell that property at the best possible price. Then it would be the county's responsibility to make sure the former property owner gets any excess funds. Sound familiar? Overage. Which is okay. They all do that anyways, but they're just doing it a little differently. Where do I see the problem coming in here? Okay, what real estate agent are they going to hire to do this? Okay, so there goes into the conflict of interest. I'm not saying there's bad real estate agents out there or this would ever happen, but I could see a situation where there's a realtor that has a group of what they refer to as the good old boy club. Hey, I've got some properties coming up. We can sell these at a really good price, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's the bad. The good is they could sit there and say, hey, we're going to try to get the best price possible. Let's get this property cleaned up and sell it for closer to fair market value. Then the county can go to the former owner and get them their excess funds. What's the problem in that? If they could get a hold of the former owner, they probably wouldn't have had a tax sale in the first place. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Mr. Governor. But I'm just telling you, that's the process there. This went into effect in August of 2024, and it's been in place for just maybe a few weeks of this recording. The municipality must list the property with an independent real estate broker. The property must be sold at best possible price at which the property is able to be sold within 12 months after listing. A post-closure notice of intent to distribute proceeds must be provided to the former owner. Again, why did they do redeem? Or published, and any excess proceeds after covering all costs must be returned to the former owner. Well, that's the way it's been in all states. So I'm not sure what they accomplished by doing that, but there you have it. There's Maine's solution to a problem that doesn't exist. But there you go. But that's how it works. Now, it doesn't matter to me how they change it. What I do know is every single state or county that I've ever done research in or figured out how to make this stuff happen, I'm looking at this going, okay, where's my benefit? How can I benefit from this? Where is the nuggets? So the nugget would be to find out who the real estate agents are, what are they posting these prices on, and see if there's an opportunity to get an off-market property. That would be good, one thing. The excess fund things is kind of weird, though. I don't know what they're trying to solve. I'm very familiar with the Tyler versus Hennepin County, but it's an odd case. This is a situation. If you've ever been intimately involved in something, then saw it go into the public and you're like that, or like the newspaper, or whatever, you're like, that's not how it happened, or that's not how it happens, or that's not the way the procedure is. I've never seen anything that's gone down, oh, yeah, that's exactly the way it went down, as everybody's seen with the rules and what have you. But let's get back to the basics. We're buying properties at a discount for back taxes. And what I need to know is, does that property have value? At the end of the day, if I'm buying a property, regardless of whether it's in the domain of a real estate agent or the county, I need to figure out if this thing has enough value to make it happen. The first thing I need to do is find out when the counties are foreclosing on these, and I need to find out the list of agents that are selling these properties. I need to get some kind of a relationship going on that so that I can at least get a crack at buying some of these properties on there. I'd also get some of my financing in order. Say, hey, here's the properties that are coming up. I want to find out what you're going to be selling these for. What do I need to get in order? When are these coming up? How many days beforehand? Here's my question for a lot of this. Can we finance the properties? Do we have to come up with cash? These are some of the things I'm looking at. Okay. The other thing I'm going to want to know is values. Okay. It's very simple. I don't care what a real estate agent tells me a property is worth. I see this all the time. A property is worth what a property is worth. What does that mean? Okay. There is no ambiguity when it comes to real estate. Okay. A property is worth $300,000 because 3 or more properties in the area, similar, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, same square footage or similar, sold for whatever price that is. That determines the value of a property. If properties aren't selling, it typically means they're asking too much or there are market conditions that have everybody pulling back. A market condition could be interest rates are too high or they're about to come down. We've seen a lot of that lately when in fact the interest rate coming down pushed the 30-year rates up a little bit because it already kind of packed it into the whole deal. So it didn't make a big deal on the market as a whole. Everybody's like, oh, we're on the sidelines. I can't wait for the interest rates to go down. That's not how home loan interest rates work. When the feds lower the interest rate, that doesn't mean they're lowering home mortgages. I'll do a video on that. There is no correlation. So there could be a number of factors where properties aren't selling, but the number one factor is they're asking too much for it. And when you're looking at a property and you're trying to find out the value, all you're doing is if the market's tight and things aren't moving as much, you shorten the frame on which you're willing to get a comparable sale. So instead of going out 4 months, maybe you only go out 2 months. Or instead of going out 6 months, maybe you only go out 3 months. Or if it's a really tight market and things are maybe going even down, I would even do it like what has sold in the last 30 days. Last year in Dallas, we saw the market in 2023 in the first 6 months drop 23%. Okay, and that was weird because that was in Dallas, but that didn't happen in Fort Worth. So there's these micro economies or values that are happening in different areas out there, and you need to be careful of that. So at the end of the day, when I'm looking at these properties, I want to know exactly what the value of the property is. And here's another thing I'd want to know in Maine. What are the conditions? Are they going to be sold as is? They said get the best value of the property. Well, who's going to dump money into that property to get it sold? Certainly the realtor's not, unless they get a contract that says they get that money out. So they've got a cold property from a county that says, hey, we just need to sell this property and get the best price possible. Okay, that's $100,000. Okay. The thing is the government doesn't care how much you get. They just care that they get their taxes. So anything over that is like whatever. So I'm really not sure how it solved the problems. But the more I talk about it, the more problems I can see with the solutions that they created. I love it. I had an old mentor of mine that says, don't solve the problem that doesn't exist. And I think a lot of people spend time doing that. So some landmines here, I can see it. Okay. Don't make any mistakes. The best way to do that is I've got a gift for you. Okay, this is a brand new course on how to make money with tax liens and tax deeds. This covers the gamut from A to Z. All you have to do is click the link below or type in higginsmethod.com. higginsmethod.com, put the information in there that we asked for, and we'll send you out your free course. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck. We'll see you out there.